Here.
Chairperson Moore,
Here.
Commissioner Campos. Is Campos here? No?
No, not yet.
Okay. Commissioner Dolan?
Not.
Okay. Commissioner Mattson? Is he?
He's no longer on there, sorry. I
Oh,
must have messed up on that.
That should be, that's okay.
Gary,
Commissioner Rand?
Present.
Okay. And Vice Chair Commissioner Rogers?
Here.
Okay. So that's,
I did get a message off to Roy. He said he was going to make it, so he might be chiming in. If he doesn't, he's probably traveling back from one of his faraway locations. Do we need to give him an excused absence now, or do we want to move on to the minutes?
I'll make a motion to give him an excused.
Okay. All right. A motion has been made to give Commissioner Campos an excused absence by Dave Rand and seconded by Vice Chair Rogers. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those who oppose? Motion has been approved. We can move on to the minutes from the December 14th meeting. Did everybody have a chance to look at that?
Yes.
Any changes, questions? I think it's
I'll move if we approve the minutes.
second.
okay. Motion has been made by Commissioner, Vice Chair, I'm sorry, Rogers, and seconded by Commissioner Rand. All those in favor say aye.
It was seconded by Gary.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Gary.
Mike. Sometimes it's hard to hear you guys' voice, difference in your voice. That was a second by Mike and Gary, Commissioner Gary. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those who oppose? Okay. Motion for the minutes to be approved for December 14th. And we can now move on to the active agenda. Staff, what do you have for us on that?
We just had Mr. Campos come on, I believe. Is that correct?
Oh,
That is correct. Yeah.
Okay, you might want to let
He's
the
logged in
record,
right now.
show that.
hi, Roy.
Hello.
Okay, so we're at the active agenda. The first one is election of Planning Commission Chair and Vice Chair. We do this every year. So I will turn it over to Chairperson Moore to open the nominations for Chairman.
Okay. So, are there any nominations for the chairperson for the Sunnyside Planning Commission?
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Moore as chairperson.
I'll second
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. A motion has been made by Chairperson Rogers and seconded by Commissioner Rand. Is that correct?
Correct.
To approve the Planning Commission Chair, Britton Moore. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those who oppose? Okay. The motion has been made for Commissioner Moore to proceed with Planning Commission Chairperson. And we can move on to Vice Chair. Do we have a motion to be made for the Vice Chairperson?
I'll make a motion to keep the chair as Mr. Rogers, the Vice Chair.
I'll second
I will
that.
second that. Okay, motion has been made for Vice Chair Commissioner Bud Rogers by Dave Rand, and that was seconded by, who was that?
Campos.
Roy, by Commissioner Roy Campos. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those who oppose? Okay, for the 2022 vice chair position, it's Commissioner Rogers. Approved. B, we've got the planning commission representative to YVCOG general membership.
Okay, that's the Yakima Valley Conference of Governments. That's the basically is normally referred to as the transportation funding area for Yakima County. What that is they have a city council position on their general board, and they also have a planning commission member, which is a non-voting, but they would attend the meetings. And this year, the meetings they would attend would be on March 16th in the evening. The next one is May 18th. And then the next one would be September 21st. And then there's one on October 19th and December 14th. And what these are general membership meetings. And a lot of what those meetings are is usually have a speaker on a specific subject that would be beneficial to the communities that are part of the COG, which is all the cities in Yakima County and Yakima County. And then also they will have issues where they vote on. So in probably the December 14th meeting, they vote on the budget for the following year, those type of things. They are dinner meetings in the evening, usually 6 to 8 o'clock, and they move around. So I'm not sure exactly where each meeting is, but they try to have one on the lower valley, and then one in the upper valley, and then one in the lower valley type thing.
Who has been doing that last year? Who's been doing it the past year?
I don't think anyone has been doing it the past year, to be honest with you.
The last person that went was Deanne. She used to go to those, and it's been a couple of years at least. 2019 was probably the last time. So
Madam Chair.
Continue this due to COVID.
Madam Chair, this is David.
Yes.
I would actually be interested in that. Being a contractor, I think I would like to get a little bit more knowledge on how we're being funded for our roads and everything, and our extra funding coming from the county, and that'd be something I'd really like to learn. So if nobody else would want to do that, I would be more than willing to step in.
I would nominate Commissioner Rand for that position.
Okay, I will second that. Mike, I do have
Thank you.
before we vote. Do you think that they would cancel these due to COVID? Is that?
They have canceled some. They have done some virtual type meetings. I don't know when they're going to meet in person again.
Okay. All right. A motion has been made for Commissioner Rand to attend those meetings. That was seconded by
You.
Oh, that was me. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. I got a bad cold. Seconded by myself. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those
Aye.
opposed? Okay, so we have our new representative for the YVCOG general membership, and motion has been made and approved. And Dave, if you have any trouble with not making those meetings, just let me know, and either I can go, or if somebody else wants to attend, we can do that.
Okay, yeah, but no, I'll make time for those. That's been very interesting to me to learn more of how the government funds our town.
Okay, great. Next on the items is adoptions of findings of fact for conditional use permit applications, CUP 2021-0058.
Madam Chairperson, this is the findings of fact for Mr. Rand's 2-unit mobile home park. When I went to forward it to the city council, I found that we had not adopted findings, so I'm suggesting these findings based on the testimony and the information presented at the hearing.
I will move that we adopt those findings.
I'll
And I will
second that.
Okay. A motion has been made by Vice Chair Rogers, and that was seconded by, was that Dave Rand?
Correct.
Oh, can he vote on that, Mike?
Oh, I was just going to ask for the same thing.
Yeah, it'd be more appropriate if he did not, just because he is the
Okay.
applicant or the property owner.
Yeah, so
Okay.
will we have to extend this till next month then, Mike, since there's only the
No,
four of
no,
us?
we have 4 if you don't participate.
Oh, that's right. Mr. Compost has stepped in. That's right.
Yes.
Okay, I forgot he got there already. Okay.
Okay, so a motion has been made by Vice Chair Rogers on adoption of findings of fact for conditional use permit application 202100058, and I will second that motion. All those approve, say aye.
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 All those who oppose, say nay. Okay, motion has been approved.
And I'll have recused myself from that vote.
Okay. D, discussion of the direction of the Planning Commission topics to be considered for 2022.
This subject is just open for discussion. If there's any planning commission members that have some issues that you think the planning commission should look at in 2022, specific subjects or ordinances or plans. It's just a matter of getting some comments from the planning commission on subjects we may want to look at.
Okay, I have a topic, and I don't know if this is, I'm going to have to do my research, but I understand that some of the ordinance have been what's the right word? For the hotels over by El Valle and the town hotel on Yakima Valley Highway. We've got people staying longer than they're supposed to, therefore they can't be kicked out. We've got a big problem with that area, and I will do my research. I will get my notes. I will talk to the police department, but I think that we're going to have bigger issues with those areas, and I'd like to strengthen whatever we've got in place or change if need be. I don't know if Mike, if you have anything on that or any information or.
I did work when I was at YV-COG. I did work with the city of Union Gap, and their issue was that they did have a group coming in that wanted to turn a hotel into a long-term living environment, and the particular zone allowed hotels, but it didn't allow residential. So I can see if I can find some of that information that might be helpful. They were looking at an ordinance. I left before they adopted it, so I'm not sure if they adopted it or not or changed their mind, but it was looking at definitions of hotels and different definition of motels, and specifically saying limited stay and how long that stay can be and those type of things.
Okay. I talked to an officer and he mentioned something about the city talking to Department of Corrections and bringing in those people when they get out of jail. And I don't, I like I said, I'll do my research, but currently we do have very big issues with those two areas. And I think that we need to address them before they get too far out of hand.
Okay.
Britton, I'm gonna comment on this topic for you. Since I do stay in a lot of motels, what these motels will do is they will check that person out of that one room, and then they will check them into a different room, and what they call it is they do room swaps.
Right.
And so they basically just swap their stuff, and that basically gets it to where like Lakewood and Tacoma and a few of the other surrounding places that we stay at, they have that same problem, and they're trying to clean up a few of them, especially like the one that I stay in particular. But that's what the office manager was telling me, is that when they started passing to where they can only do the 30-day stays, that some of these less reputable motels would just swap the rooms, and then you have the same batch of people staying
Right.
in there, or they
Right.
have the one room checked in under one person's name and it's a double, and they got 3 people staying there, and then the next month they check it in under somebody else's name.
Right.
So I don't, it's a thing that the motel I stay in, Lakewood, has been dealing with, trying to get some of their less desirables, as they call it, to move to a different location. So I'm with you on this, not bringing these Department of Correction people from other areas in. Now, if they're local Sunnyside people and they're from our town, I can see them bringing them to our town. But if they're bringing outsiders into our town just for a place for them to relocate without a job, that's pretty sad that they're starting to do that, if that's what you're saying.
If that were the case, I'd be more than happy to welcome anyone coming in looking for jobs. Sadly, these folks are thieving the parking lots and the local businesses that are close to those hotels. I see them running at 5 a.m. with batteries and cords in their hand that they've just ripped off a car. It's getting pretty out of control.
Oh, yeah.
And
Believe me, I see them out by the property, out by the meat shop, walking into town, and it's I don't know where they come and go. Since I cut my trees down, there was a group of 3 living in the trees, we found out. And the one guy approached me pretty upset that I cut all my trees down, because now they have no place to live.
right.
So I kind of, we started to get a little bit, less out at our area, but I think what it did is it pushed them into town, out of my trees into town.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'll do my research and find out more and get some actual facts and maybe bring it back to the planning commission the next time.
Good.
Okay.
Good. I'd like to hear some research on this.
Do we have any other topics that the planning commission members would like to see?
I don't know if.
Yes, I do have go ahead, Mr. Rogers. You go ahead.
Well, I don't know if this is really a planning commission thing, but 16th Street going south out of town near that new Aho development and stuff, that is very poorly lit along 16th. I don't know if that's something we have any right to say anything about or not.
I know I've had conversations with the public works director, because it's not 16th, but there's a road off of there that we see a lot of graffiti and such, and the lighting is not that great. So I can relay that information to the public works director. There is some programs for lighting, and we can see if maybe one of those could apply to that location.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Mike, I'm really hard topic on this mini housing and alternate, dwellings that the state is allowing on. And I know we talked about it a little bit last year, and we sent some stuff over to the council, and they didn't like the stuff. So I was kind of hoping that maybe we could address that and get, find a couple of the developments that are taking place. I know there's one over in Centralia, Chehalis, that I'm going to be working in that area. I'm going to go kind of talk to them and see if I can get some information from that. And they've got a little one going over there. And then I know they've got, some of this alternative housing going up around Seattle. And I know Seattle Planning Committee is in the process of, they're talking about eliminating the R1 zone altogether in Seattle because of their housing shortage and everything. Which I'm not wanting to eliminate R1 in our community, but I would like to make it to where we could give our citizens an option to build a little 1-bedroom studio apartment type deal on their property as well as their home.
Okay, yeah, the accessory dwelling. I know on the Seattle one that I heard actually this morning on the radio that the legislators are looking at some bills that say for communities over 25,000, if you allow on a single family dwelling, you might have to allow a duplex or a triplex or a fourplex. So I think they're going to be looking at,
Exactly.
they said something like we're like 250,000 dwelling units short just based on population growth.
Correct. And they're saying that one of the hardest hit areas is the Yakima Valley. In their review, they're saying that it's like winning the lottery to get a rental house. And when we don't have rental houses, we don't have an option to bring in better employees. And I'm going to use this as an example. I've been trying to expand our meat shop, and I've got people that want to move to our area, but they're worried that they won't be able to find a house to live in, because that's what they're experiencing in all the communities. And so I'm actually throwing in one of my rental properties to be able to get somebody to move to our area, because we tried to find a rental house for them, and there's just nothing out there anywhere in Sunnyside, Grandview, Prosser, Zilla, and the closest we could find was way out in West Valley, and then the other one was up in one of the developments up in Pasco. And that's quite a commute to get somebody to work in Sunnyside. So I really would like to see the housing thing addressed. I know we've got some really good developments coming in, and hopefully that one we talked about 2 months ago is moving forward quickly, so that those people can get started, because that is going to be a wonderful add to our community right there once they get those houses going.
Okay.
So, but one other question. Do you know what's going on with the mobile home development that's over there behind the old Kmart building? I haven't seen any progress on that for the last 3 months.
Yeah, that developer's pretty well finalized out the project, but I have not seen any mobile homes. He was having trouble getting mobile homes earlier, or in the fall last year. He was concerned about that, and he has some other developments he's working on too. So it may be a matter of getting homes is going to be the issue.
So it is all done then.
I believe all the improvements are done. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I hadn't been over in that direction. I just drive down the road and I'm like, man, nobody's doing nothing. So I'm gonna have to drive through the development now and take a look at it.
Okay.
Because hopefully he can get some homes in there, and we can get some citizens living in that. And then one other question on the corner of Scheller and Hanford Highway there's that lot that's kind of just on the same side as the mobile home. I had talked with a realtor about that, and he told me that somebody had put an offer in on that, and because we were thinking about buying that. And he was saying that they were talking about putting in a housing development there, but we haven't talked about anything about that. Have you heard anything about that yet?
I have been contacted by a few of the people who were looking at the property, and they wanted to do housing development, but I believe it's zone light industrial.
Correct.
We voted on that a few months ago.
Is that the one that we voted on not to change it?
Well, there's other
Right.
lots in there, not that particular lot there, but the other lots adjacent to it.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was two different lots, and so that I wanted to. Okay, so have they been talking about submitting stuff for that?
No, they were just asking about the zoning
Okay.
and what was allowed in that zoning. So.
Okay. Because that's what they were telling me, is that they wanted to try to get it rezoned, and I told them I had no comment on that because I was a planning commissioner. I wouldn't discuss any of those particulars with him until it came through the planning commission. And so I was kind of curious because that was like a month and a half ago that I talked to him. So, because I'd like to own that piece of property.
Okay. Any
Okay,
other
any other
members have
discussion?
comments? Oh, sorry.
Okay, we can move on to E, discussion planning commission rules of procedure.
The city manager brought these to my attention. I didn't even know about these rules of procedure, so I'm just providing them to the planning commission members because they can see, so they can see what the council adopted for rules of procedure. And this basically, like I say, they're adopted, so it's just for your information.
Well, one thing I noticed under section 3, the regular meeting time is not correct any longer.
Yes, and we did do an ordinance to change that, but this ordinance hasn't been changed to reflect that.
Yeah, I think this rules and procedures is the one that we, all the city people and everything, we got together right after that guy did that review on the city.
Yeah,
is
that was
about the time
4 years
frame.
ago.
I remember doing this, and we all went, and they had like a little thing and went through this rules and procedures. So I'm glad that Elizabeth is on top of it to refresh everybody's memory. That's really good that the city is looking to keep us all educated.
Okay.
All right. And if there's nothing else on that, we can go to public comment. Don't think we've got anybody out there, do we, Mike?
No, there's nobody but the planning commission members and the secretary.
Okay. All right. Any additional items from staff?
No additional items, ma'am. Madam Chairman, person.
Okay. All right. I do not have a calendar in front of me. I apologize. Our next regular meeting is scheduled for
February
February.
8th.
Okay. And I've got no issue with that date.
I'm good.
What was the
I'm
name
good.
again? My phone kind of cut out a little bit.
Okay. The only thing I would ask maybe, Mike, is when those meetings start to pop up for the YVCOG membership, just shoot me an email and I can throw that out to everybody and maybe remind Dave if he's out of town and if we need to
Okay.
replace in case he can't make it. That way we can, one of us can go or I can go.
Okay. I've got a list that I'm going to send back to YVCOG, and I think they will add David to their list and make sure he gets noticed of those.
Oh, great.
I have one comment. The only reason why I was gone last month is because I did not get a packet, and I didn't get my packet until Thursday of that week. I don't know if it was due to weather not getting there, but when I tried to call down to the city at like 5:20 when I got into town and realized I didn't have a packet, nobody answered. So I apologize for not being there last month.
Okay. And any other comments by commissioners? Okay. It is 5:59. We can adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Everybody have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.
You too.